Okay, let's talk about Nvidia. Everyone knows they're the undisputed king of AI. But what if I told you that their true power, the real source of their dominance, doesn't come from where you think it does? Today, we are pulling back the curtain on the hidden software empire that has made Nvidia the absolute foundation of the entire AI industry. I mean, this quote just nails it, doesn't it? Think about it. Oxygen isn't optional, right? It's essential for life. And for pretty much every major player in AI, from the smallest startups all the way up to the biggest tech giants, NVIDIA's hardware has become just as fundamental. It is literally the air that the AI industry breathes. So the story you usually hear is that NVIDIA dominates because, well, they just make the fastest, most powerful chips for AI. And look, their hardware is absolutely incredible, no question about it. But focusing only on the silicon, that's kind of like admiring the tip of an iceberg while completely ignoring the massive strategic foundation that's hidden just beneath the surface. And this, right here, this is the heart of it all. The myth, the common view, is that it's just a hardware race. Who can build the fastest chip? But the reality, the deeper truth, is that NVIDIA's real power comes from something so much harder to copy, a brilliant software strategy that has effectively locked in an entire generation of AI developers. That's right, the hardware? It isn't the whole story, not even close. What we're really talking about here is a strategic moat. A competitive advantage that protects a company from all its rivals. And NVIDIA's moat, well, it isn't just built with silicon. It's coded in software. And the secret weapon has a name, CUDA. Now, CUDA isn't a chip, it's a software platform. The best way to think about it is as the universal language that lets developers unlock the incredible parallel processing power that's inside every NVIDIA GPU. You see, without CUDA, an NVIDIA chip is like a Ferrari with no steering wheel. It looks powerful, but you can't do anything with it. With CUDA, it becomes the engine of the entire AI revolution. And this is where their strategy gets really, really clever. It leads to something I call the CUDA Trap. Now, it's not a trap in some malicious way, but it is a brilliant strategic one. You see, NVIDIA didn't just build a tool. They spent years cultivating an entire, almost inescapable ecosystem around it. And make no mistake, this did not happen by accident. For more than a decade, NVIDIA has been meticulously weaving this strategic web of software, tools, and libraries that all point back to one thing, CUDA. It makes their platform the path of least resistance for any developer trying to get work done. And the scale of this ecosystem is just staggering. I mean, look at this. The biggest names in AI, frameworks like PyTorch and TensorFlow that power everything from ChatGPT to self-driving cars, they are all optimized for CUDA. We're talking millions upon millions of developer hours spent mastering these tools, all of them inside NVIDIA's walled garden. So this creates a really powerful lock-in effect. It all starts with just one developer choosing the easiest, most powerful tool to build their project. But then that scales up. Companies invest millions, sometimes billions, in CUDA-based infrastructure and hiring talent that knows CUDA. And then, suddenly switching to a competitor isn't just about buying new chips anymore. It's about rewriting years of code and retraining your entire workforce. The cost just becomes astronomical. Okay, so I know what you're probably thinking. But what about the competition, right? We hear all the time about tech giants like Google designing their own custom AI chips. Surely that's a threat to NVIDIA's dominance, right? Well, it's a bit more complicated than you might think. Let's take Google. They're the perfect example. Yes, they developed their own super powerful TPUs for very specific AI tasks, but they still buy massive quantities of NVIDIA GPUs. So why would they do that? Because the CUDA ecosystem is so vast, so flexible, that it's still the best tool for countless research and development problems. Even for the competition, NVIDIA is still the oxygen supply. So this brings us to the big question, the billion-dollar question, really. NVIDIA's software moat, it seems impenetrable today. But in the world of tech, we know no empire lasts forever. So what does the future actually hold? Now, the most significant challenger out there is AMD with its open source platform, ROCm. It's designed from the ground up to be a direct alternative to CUDA. But as you can see here, the battle they face is incredibly uphill. NVIDIA has something like a 15-year head start. So AMD isn't just competing against a piece of technology. They're competing against almost 2 decades of ingrained developer habits and massive corporate investment. And so this is the crucial question I want to leave you with. Is NVIDIA's CUDA empire a permanent feature of the tech landscape? Or could a persistent open-source rebellion, like AMD's ROCm, eventually tear down those walls and turn all AI hardware into just a simple commodity? The answer to that question won't just decide the fate of one company. It's going to define the entire future of artificial intelligence.